What's up? It's the BLONGshow. Back again, young humanitarian. Want to talk a little bit about these politics going on. So, one thing that I want to mention is that's confusing me is how people can just, no matter what somebody do, they can just stick to the same old thing with a ridiculous person. You know, Biden has just outright lied, outright did outrageous and crazy things, and people just still act like nothing happened. I don't care if you're the president or you're the worst criminal walking up and down the street. Facts is facts. People need to quit acting like ain't no weird stuff happening and like everything cool. You know, I'm just watching this guy and I'm just watching him destroy the integrity of the United States of America. Yeah, but first I want people to understand what the United States of America actually is. It's a united land, which means this is not the land of Europe. This is not the land of Russia. This is not the land of Africa. This is not the land of China. This is the land of everybody. This land belongs to nobody. We one big mix of all races, all ethnic backgrounds. So, while the president and the government represent the country build, support, development, and everything else is every nation. It's united. You heard of the United Nations? It's many, multiple, not just one. So people quit thinking that this is your country. It's everybody's country. This is a land that was found by some people taking over the land of the people that was here. And then the land was shared with all of the groups. It's not a one country land. This is a multiple country land, full country land for everybody. So now that I got that out the way, let me get to the point. So we got this dude in office, and we just acting like this dude ain't doing nothing wrong. He sat up here and basically, in my opinion, destroyed the military, because when you decide that you don't want to define the difference between men and women, you want to let people decide that they are both or the opposite of what they actually was born as, you just destroyed them. There's no identity there. If you want to be gay, you can be gay. That's your choice. But the whole point is, you still identify as who you are. You'll never be a man if you're a woman. You'll never be a woman if you're a man. I don't care about the body parts you alter. I don't care about the injections and pills you take. You still are the individual that you were born as. Don't try to be a whole nother person. You just destroyed the integrity of everything that you are. The whole purpose of your being, you destroyed it. And so when he did that with the military, saying everybody is everybody, we have no identity anymore. You have to have identity. You have to have identification. Sexual preference is not identification. Sexual preference is sexual preference. Identification is an ID, an identifier. If you was to die and be destroyed today, when they identify you and they look at your pelvis, because everything else was destroyed, it's going to be a male pelvis or female pelvis. It's not going to be in the middle pelvis. It's not going to be a universal pelvis. It's nothing wrong with you choosing to be what you want to be, but be who you are. The next thing, we got this silly war going on over in Russia, or you can continue to call it the USSR. We still the United States of America. We not divided like we was when we had 13 states. So, but anyway, this foolish war going on. We on the side making dumb decisions, taking foolish threats. How can you let this character threaten to use nuclear warfare against your country? And you just keep saying how you doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but you can't do this or you can't do that. Either you in it or you ain't. So when we over here, and there's a couple people going to war with each other, and I hand one of them an assault rifle, and he blow the other one up with it. Am I an accomplice or not? Am I part of that or not? Are you saying that I'm not part of it now because I supplied them with what they needed to win, but I didn't do it? I just supplied them, I just gave them some supplies. Or I gave them some money to go buy some supplies to do what they needed to do. You know, if you're gonna be part of it, be part of it. If not, then you're not. You know, who needs that foolish stuff going on like it happened over there in Afghanistan? Who needs that again? People jumping all off of planes and stuff. That only happened on TV. That wasn't real life stuff before. That's actually real now? Well, I guess they could hide it from us before because, you know, we didn't have the access to internet and social media and all that stuff now in order to share those type of images. It's non-stop madness. And then we can go on over into the other part of that whole thing. Just before the war, us being civilians, we didn't know the war was coming. I actually thought, you know, it was going to be China trying to take over Taiwan before Russia did this with the Ukraine, but I think China might be a little bit of a better chess player than Russia. But we sit here and listen to this guy tell us that he's shutting down pipelines and drilling for oil and all this different stuff. And right then and there, I already knew, okay, here we go with this gas thing again. Here we go with this oil situation again. And then, bam, a few weeks later, Russia's lining up to attack the Ukraine. Once again, this clown get on TV and say, the sanctions we placing on Russia won't affect the prices on our people here at the pump. I'm heading to the gas station right now to pay almost $5 a gallon for gas that cost me under $3 a gallon just a month ago. Sound like an effect to me. But people argue with you and say, oh, it wasn't him. It wasn't that. It wasn't this. Tell me what else it was. That's what I'm trying to figure out. If it wasn't what I'm pointing out, then you point out something better to me. I never hear it. You know, people need to make better decisions in their life when they looking and listening and they see the things that they seeing. It's kind of like when you go into the Bible, and I can't remember if it was God or Jesus that said, I can show you something and you still won't believe me. You know, people choose to believe whatever is easy to believe, whatever they feel like believing. Whoever giving them the best story at the moment. You know, and that's sad. And the other part about that, it's all a plot for him to get what he wants. And guess what that is? More electric cars built and sold. I don't know the incentives that they get for doing these different type of things, but you know that's what they're working on. Because now all of a sudden, everybody got an electric car. All the manufacturers. Are they doing it right? Of course not. But they all do. And if you turn around and look back at it, so we look at Elon Musk just buying everything, taking over everything. So this Tesla guy, you buy a Tesla, you can't work on it yourself. You can't go to the parts store and tell them you want to buy a starter for your Tesla. You got to take it back to get it fixed. You can't do your own work on your Tesla. What that sound like? More control of the public. But you probably don't even pay attention or know that. You probably think, oh, that's not that. That's just, you just got to take your car. Why? That means removing your freedom. Because if you need that car worked on, you have no choice but to take it there and pay what they choose to tell you to pay. Another thing people not paying attention to. We got to start paying attention to these backdoor things that's going on. Just like when we look at these school shootings. The last one was just totally weird to me. So weird to me that I have not been even bothering following the story. Because how does an individual that don't go to an elementary school enter an elementary school and just start shooting people? You don't have no kids there or nothing. That's like almost impossible to me. When I went to elementary school, wasn't nobody coming up in that school. And after the bell rang, the door was locked. You either had to ring the bell or they saw you walking in through the door right at the office. You didn't walk in and walk past the office. If he didn't shoot them while they was on recess, he didn't jump the fence and start shooting at people. How did he get to do what he got to do? Because it's a game. And somebody's out there influencing these children to do these things. They're raising them to do it. It's not just overnight. Somebody wake up and say, oh, okay, I'm about to go kill these black people. Or, oh, okay, I'm about to go shoot this school up. It don't work like that. These people is in some underground cultural thing. And you can guarantee the government know about every single organized human threat organization. You can guarantee that. You can't hide it. They just don't care if you're not making a lot of noise in order to make the government look bad. You know, Biden come on TV and he say all this and that about how they feel about it and what they're going to do about it and this and that. Okay, so if that's how you feel, there's no decision to be made about those parents suing the school, those parents suing the school district, those parents suing the city. There should be no litigation or anything. It should be an automatic, this is what you owe these parents, period. And I ain't talking about no couple $100,000. They can't get their kid back. That's a lifetime. That kid could have lived to be over 100 years old. We don't know. So you can't put a price on those kids either, because the smiles, the happiness, the support, all the things that these kids was possibly able to bring their family, they'll never be able to do it, and nobody will ever be able to know. Those people need to be granted millions of dollars a piece. Not one a piece. Numeral. Not numeral, numerous. You know, I'm a little irritated, so mess my words up a little bit. But the government know about this stuff. And like I said, all of the crap that been going on, see, these things didn't go on when I was a kid. The worst thing I knew about when I was a kid was when the guy bombed the church. And he bombed the church from the outside and killed the 4 little girls. This stuff wasn't going on in schools. So how is it that almost 40 years later, stuff like this happened in the schools? I thought we were supposed to be a little bit more advanced. And I know we are more advanced. People just don't care. The government is more in our business, but they don't care. So we need to start stepping up and make them care. We need to start stepping up and make people have rules. Way back then, they could do a simple boycott and change the system. Maybe we need to start boycotting some of these schools and stuff like that in order to make them care. They want to do what they want to do, okay. Count day, won't no students be at school. How about test day, won't no students be at school? How about that? Because tests are ridiculous anyway. You get graded mostly for your tests. You should get graded mostly for your effort. Everybody can't remember everything at the beginning. Sometimes you remember everything after the test is over, because you had some more time for your brain to be saturated with the information that you was given. That's why tests are ridiculous to me. What you need is a person that's engaged in the educational process. The test should be just to reinforce them. Your test should count as 5% of your grade. Your effort should count as 80% of your grade. But I need y'all to start paying attention, Americans. And remember what I said Americans are? Everybody from everywhere. So start paying attention, Americans. This is the BLONGshow, young humanitarian style. I'm out.